All right, let's get real and dive into a candid conversation about Surprise, Arizona. I'm going to talk about six different aspects of living in Surprise. We're going to cover everything from local culture and lifestyle to some of the less talked about factors that might impact your decision to move here. We're also going to touch on topics like the community vibe, the schools, the climate, Bell Road, which everyone hates, and quite a bit more. So let's see if you can handle these six things about Surprise, Arizona. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brandon Coulston with Paramount Valley Realty here in Surprise, Arizona. If this is your first time on the channel and you're curious about what it's like to eat and work and sleep and play in Surprise, you've came to the right place. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell at the bottom so you're notified every time we post a new video. We love hearing from you guys. We're getting so many calls and texts, emails, which we do absolutely love. So if you're thinking about moving to Surprise or anywhere close to the area, definitely reach out to us and we'd love to help you. I've done some other videos in the past and I realize you guys definitely appreciate some honesty. So you're probably considering moving here anyway. You just want to get the real scoop on what's going on. Surprise was once a lesser known gym in Arizona, but the secret's definitely out now with its growing popularity, all the businesses uprising. There's definitely some aspects of Surprise you should be aware of before you decide to call this place home. Just to give you some context, I do live here with my family. My son does go to school here. The place is a fantastic place to live. The housing, atmosphere, the stores, the shopping. There's several things you can do here, even though it's not a huge city. But let's go over some things that you probably want to know about if you want to call this place your forever home. Number one on the list, extreme heat. Now, that's going to be anywhere in the Phoenix Valley, but if you're coming from out of state and you're not familiar with the heat, it can get pretty brutal, especially if you're not a big fan of it.
Well, can you tell me what it feels like? Fool, what is hot? I told you again. Were you born on the sun? It's damn hot.
Some people say that the heat is only around 3, 4 months. My experience, it's definitely around more, probably 6 to 8 months. You're looking at 100 plus temperatures of those 6 to 8 months. It gets cooler, definitely from December to April. You can't beat the weather. I mean, technically, you could probably wear shorts all year long if you're into that. So it's not going to rain too much, snow. It does get a little chilly in the morning. In the wintertime, it can get in the high 30s. We're talking about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But for the most part, that'll be gone in just a few hours and you'll be back up to 75 typically throughout the winter months. Surprise is situated in the Sonoran Desert, which means it can definitely get extreme temperatures. And I've seen it, 120 plus in the car before when I get in there when sitting outside. So it can definitely be making outdoor activities uncomfortable and sometimes dangerous if you're doing some things in the summer outside. The intense heat can be a significant deterrent for most people that's not accustomed to such high temperatures. But, over time, it's my seventh summer, it's getting a little easier. But if you love the heat, then you really cannot beat it. It's definitely an awesome place to be. Otherwise, the summer, you just go in the pool and stay in air conditioning and just do as little outside as you can. And definitely if you have a pool or somebody has a pool, that's where you're going to spend most of your time outside in the summer. Number two, a limited cultural scene. A lot of people are familiar with Mesa, Scottsdale, Gilbert, Chandler. Surprise is a little less known, but it's definitely changing. While Surprise has been growing rapidly, it does lack the cultural depth of larger cities, like I mentioned. If you're someone who thrives on a vibrant arts scene, diverse dining options, and a variety of entertainment choices, you may not find Surprise up there on the top of the list. But again, that is changing, rapidly changing with several local developments, such as Village at Prasada development, also the new Desert Diamond Casinos located right on the outskirts of Surprise. So Surprise, for the longest time, grew very slow, but with the addition to, the Costco on Waddell and 303 exit, all of that growing, all the restaurants that are coming in, big name restaurants, not just chain restaurants, pretty good variety restaurants and entertainment. Fat Cats is over there at Village at Prasada, so there is definitely entertainment there as well. So you're getting a lot of options that you didn't have. Some people are calling it the new Scottsdale on the west side. So
No way. Way. Yeah.
it definitely could be the case. So if you're looking to move here while it's in the beginning stages, this could be the right time for you going into 2024. Okay. Number three, the distance from major cities, in Phoenix runs down the middle. Everything is to the east and to the west. So Surprise is the furthest west. You can't really go much further as a suburb outside of Phoenix. Surprise is located about 45 minutes from downtown Phoenix. While that may not seem too far for a lot of people, the distance can be, a hindrance for, if you're frequently traveling for work or entertainment or other activities. You've got the Arizona Cardinals, which is in Glendale. You're looking maybe 20 minutes, not too far away. But if you're looking for more downtown or Scottsdale, east side activities, then you're looking at a little bit of a challenge, especially during rush hour times. It can be time consuming. So you just have to plan accordingly because Surprise is, a good distance from those things. But again, like we talked about in the last option, is that Surprise is growing and, things are growing rapidly and you can do a lot more here now. So, you're seeing yourself having to leave a lot less than you may have had to, within the last few years. Number four is limited job opportunities. Like we talked about in the previous number three, Surprise is a little ways away from the other bigger metro cities of Phoenix. Although it isn't as big of a deal as it used to be because a lot of people are working from home now, are still working from home after COVID. So a lot of people are not having to commute as much. So living in Surprise is not as, far away or as matter as much work wise as it used to. There's all kinds of development and industrial development on 303 going down close to Surprise. Quite a few warehouses, Amazon, Walmart, quite a few different big companies in this area now that are bringing in several jobs. So, things are definitely changing in the job market here, but it is still a little limited. So if you're having to travel for work and going into the East Valley or Phoenix, again, with traffic and I-10, you may, have to account for that. So that can be a downside for some people that are still having to travel for work. Number five, Suburban Lifestyle. Surprise is predominantly a suburban area of Phoenix. Like I said earlier, about 45 minutes west of Phoenix, give or take, depending on the traffic. Now, that can be a pro for some people that's, if they're seeking a quiet, family-friendly environment, but it may not appeal to some people that prefer the hustle and bustle of the city life. We touched on that earlier. It is a little ways from entertainment and vast dining options. Like we talked about earlier, also that has changed with the new village at Brasada on Waddell and 303. They've got over 700,000 square feet of shops, restaurant row, entertainment, quite a few things going over there. Costco right next to it. So, you have quite a few different options now for dining, and the shopping is coming. They're developing right across the street from what's developed now. On the north side of it, they are developing quite a bit more shopping and some more restaurants to go along with what they already have. So within the next year or less or so, you're definitely going to see Surprise. You're not going to have to leave pretty much for anything unless you're going to like a specific restaurant that is not here or sporting event or something like that. Surprise, you're going to be able to be entertained and have a vast variety of dining options and entertainment options that you're probably not going to have to go very far or may not even need to leave Surprise. Okay, number six, traffic / snowbirds. Okay, so with that, Surprise is right next to some big 55 plus retirement communities. One of them is actually in Surprise, Sun City Grand, and thousands of residents in these areas, and a lot of them will come home in the winter and leave in the summer. So you're definitely getting a vast variety of people coming from all over the country, different driving styles, older, of course, even coming from Canada. A lot of Canadians will come here.
So I hear you're from Canada.
Yeah.
How's it going, eh?
And retire. So definitely in the wintertime, there's a big adjustment of driving and influx of people in the stores and just out and about. So that can be definitely a disadvantage for some people that want to have, use the hustle and bustle and want to just keep going fast paced all the time. Things do get quite a bit more crowded here in the winter time and slowed down, especially on the roads. With new construction here, also out on 303 and Grand, going out in that direction. They're doing quite a few changes in road construction, but there's a long ways to go. So there's a lot of congestion exiting off 303 and Grand, quite a bit of congestion there in the morning throughout the day, just because of all the new housing that's being built, all the new people moving in there. But that should be changing within the next 6 months to a year. They're doing quite a few road improvements there. Also, the killer of all that everyone hates, and you'll see it if you ever drive down it or decide to move here, is Bell Road. And it's the worst road to drive on in probably the whole area. Bumper to bumper all the time, accidents left and right. People are just in and out in a hurry and always backed up, and you pretty much got to use Bell Road to get to 101 and those areas quickly. So a lot of people are forced to use it instead of going around through 303 or I-10. So that's a big downside. But again, with all of the building, the development, the restaurants, the entertainment, things are moving closer into Surprise to where you don't need to go in that direction for those things. Now, of course, if you work in that, in that area, down in that area, then you have to go there. That's beside, different point. But as far as leisure things and shopping and grocery shopping and entertainment, it's not as vital to go in that direction as it used to be. So, the traffic, the new construction, the snowbirds, the Bell Road, those things are, challenging at times driving, but again, they're changing. Also with, like I said, the road improvements, exits and lanes that are being put in on 303 and Grand. The snowbirds are only here half a year. And if you are a snowbird, I'm not discouraging you from moving here, because it's definitely a great place as well to be for all ages, whether you're 55 plus or younger. It's a great area to be in, a slower paced area to be in for everyone. If you don't like that, that's who I'm talking to. It may not be the place for you. But with all the growing and improvements, again, those things aren't a big deal as they used to be. So in conclusion, while Surprise does offer many benefits, a peaceful community, highly rated schools, beautiful landscapes, a growing economy, it is essential to consider these factors before making a move here. Every city has its own unique set of challenges, and what might be a deal breaker for one person, may be insignificant or no big deal for another. It's all about finding the right place that aligns with your lifestyle, your family's lifestyle, your needs, your work, your entertainment, your dining, your everyday lifestyle, what works for you. And, Surprise does have very good pricing on the real estate side of it. You definitely can get a lot for your money here as compared to some of the bigger cities on the east side. But you may be giving up some things like we talked about today and previous points. You may be giving up a few things for that better housing pricing and cost of living. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us, and we can get in depth with more things about Surprise, Arizona, and help you make sure this is the right place for you to be. Thank you.